All right, we have some roles that we need to fill. Sean as our timer. A vote counter was Tom Green. Was Tom, you are a vote counter?
Hey, John.
And then I need a grammarian and an odd counter with the word. Trina? The word of the day, would you want to tell me what the word of the day is?
The word of the day is effete. It means lacking in wholesome vigor, degenerate, decadent, or exhausted of vigor or energy, worn out, unable to produce, sterile.
All right. And so the goal is to try to use this word of the day during your table topics portion, the impromptu portion of the speech, and then also the evaluation portion to qualify, okay?
Not the speech?
Not the speech.
No, the speech.
Yeah, speech. And then I need an odd counter. Is anyone? Oh yeah, you're the odd counter as well. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. Danny, you next to you, there's a guest. Would you mind? Are you a guest today?
This is second time.
Oh, second time. Okay. Why don't you just tell us your name again?
My name's David Densley.
David Densley. Okay, cool.
Danny had told me about this, and I thought.
Okay. David
He
Densley.
used the same name 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And then, are you a guest as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to stand and just let us know your name? What brought you here today?
Yeah, my name is Alonzo Green. I'm Tom's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome. All right. I will move forward to our prepared speaker portion of the meeting. We have 2 prepared speakers. We actually have 3, but we have one that's going to reschedule till to next week. So will have 2 speakers. One is given their icebreaker. Another one's given an organization of their speech. We have 2 evaluators. Let's have Frank. Frank, you want to evaluate Chance's icebreaker?
I can.
And then Leah. Leah?
Yeah.
And can you, let's see who's, it will be Danny's, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just barely set it up.
Bring for Leah or Leah?
It's Leah. I don't know.
And then you have your manual.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're diving for pearls.
And then do you have a,
Frank's getting one.
Frank's getting one. Okay. All right. And then are you a guest?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You want to say what your name is and then what brought you here to Toastmasters today?
I'm the wet one. I would like to improve my speaking skills.
Cool.
And I'm sorry, what was your first name?
Nuet.
Nuet.
N-G-U-Y-E-T.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. We have a packed house today. Okay. Frank, our evaluator, would you mind taking a quick minute to let us know what the objectives of our next speaker's speech is?
As quickly as I can, young man. This is Chance's icebreaker, and this will be his very first speech, and this is to discover what speaking skills Chance already has. And this is a 4 to 6 minute presentation about Chance to let us know more about him.
Okay, I will now welcome our next speaker, Chance Carlson's icebreaker by Chance Carlson.
Yeah!
Thank you very much. So there's something I've held in for too long. I think it's time for me to let it out. I just want to proclaim this. And I hope you don't judge me or my family by this. I won the lottery. It was awesome, amazing, incredible winnings, incredible experience. Yeah, I chose to drive to the border. I chose to buy a ticket, and then I chose to have them give me the numbers. 03, 16, 90, 98, and then the waiting game began. Waiting, come on, tell me my number. See if I won. Waiting, waiting, and sure enough, they read my number. 03, 16, 90, 98. Yes, I won the lottery. My financial advisor said, take the annual installments versus the lump sum, of course. You want the dividends. The first dividend came. I was born to a loving mother. Dividends came after that. A brother came into our family. Sisters came into our family. More dividends kept coming. I was able to go to school. The 8-0, I was baptized into a religion of my choice. Amazing dividend, right? And then I went to school. I learned English, learned how to read. More dividends coming. We had food in our pantries. I could eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches whenever I wanted. Amazing. And then I went to high school. Sure, high school I had some issues. I struggled with depression, anxiety, but the dividends kept coming. I was able to be on the swim team, graduate from high school. Amazing dividends. They just kept coming and coming and coming. Sure, my mom struggled with cancer. Sure, my siblings had issues as well. But the dividends just kept coming. Amazing. Sure enough, 98, the number 98, I was fortunate to meet a beautiful young lady, and she said yes. Huge dividend. Whoa, settle down. And I know that after a certain amount of time, the income and the money stops. But for me, it kept coming. It kept coming. 2001, I was able to have a beautiful, beautiful baby, Savannah. And then more dividends came. More daughters, more daughters, more daughters came. So many more dividends. Amazing. I won the lottery. I can see. I can walk. I can hear. I can speak. I have a job right now. One of my amazing dividends, I had a car when I was 17. It was an AMC Hornet. Old car. Amazing dividends. Currently I have a car now. It's a Honda Civic. It's old. But I keep getting these little dividends day by day. Like I said, I have a job. I have a family that's healthy. We were able to travel to Florida and swim with dolphins. Dividends kept coming and coming. Amazing. I get to help businesses right now in my profession. I get to show businesses some of their dividends. Hey, this is what you're blessed with. This is what you can do in your job. The lottery keeps coming to me. Born in America, speaking English, here today, I won the lottery. Thank you. I didn't see my time. I was. Dang, I did 3:41. Crap.
3:41.
Practice.
All right, let's take a quick minute to write some feedback to our prepared speaker. And any guesses, members that came in that did not get an updated agenda that I can? Lonzo, did you get one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think you got an older version. But
I'll
it's,
take one too, yeah, give an extra.
yeah. Denise one?
I got it.
Anybody else? I will now call on our next evaluator that's going to evaluate our next speaker speech. For Danny Thomas, it's going to be Leah. Explain the objectives
Yes,
of
will
our
do.
next speaker speech.
Okay, so today Danny is doing project 2. His speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. And this one is where he's supposed to select an appropriate outline which allows us to easily follow and understand his speech. We want to make sure it's clear, there's supporting material directly contributing to the message, and we want to watch for those smooth transitions. Remember to start a strong opening and a good closing. Mr. Danny Thomas.
And his speech time is 5 to 7 minutes, Sean. And so the title of his speech is Passion, Purpose, and Poetry. Passion, Purpose, and Poetry by Danny Thomas.
I'm going to try and do the Tony Robbins thing. Everybody keep social experiment on starting out with some high energy. Come on, let's raise the roof. These are tiles, so it should be easily done. Okay. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster friends, don't follow your passion. I'm going to say that one more time for emphasis. Do not follow your passion. Now that might sound like a Stoic refrain in an age of Epicureanism, but I think it's totally validated. From my own experience, which I will submit as supporting evidence, my life experience has been, if I were to just, when I get out of school, say, I'm not going to take a job until I know it's my passion. Because you gotta have your passion figured out, and you gotta do your passion, because if you don't, then you're going to live a life of monotony, mundane. You will dread it every day, and you will hate your life if you do not follow your passion. That seems to be the message taught today. You've got to follow your passion. But you don't even know when you start out what your passion is or where it's going to take you. And I think we can often miss many opportunities because they're dressed in overalls and disguised as work. And if you can end up like the guy who's drowning and the ship comes to save him, and he says, it's okay, I've already prayed to God and he's going to save me, I'm just waiting. Or the other version of that story is the guy that fell off the roof and he's hanging by the nail, and somebody comes to help him, and I'm waiting for my passion. I got to find out my passion. I don't want to take this job until I know this is what I want to do. But what I will tell you to follow is your purpose. That is something that you do need to figure out. But take the jobs that come your way, take opportunity as it comes, as you're still figuring out your purpose. And the way you figure out your purpose is you start setting goals and actually writing them down. I've heard it that only 3% of the population writes their goals down. 3%. If you will just take your pen and write down a goal on this piece of paper, you can become 3% right here. So figure out your purpose, because that is going to fuel you to achieve those goals. It's going to give you the energy to do a lot more than if you're just going by day, doing the same thing that you were doing yesterday. Especially if your purpose is rooted in love or a noble cause. I think that people accomplish greatness, and ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things when they have a great purpose and they're working towards their goals. So I'm going to segue into my next point, is you've got to be persistent. Persistent, even when times get tough. I became a salesman, and it just kind of happened naturally. And I'm always asking myself, do I really like sales? Is that what I'm passionate about? I think I got my degree in marketing. Maybe I need to just go do something completely different, because I don't know if I'm passionate about approaching people and trying to find out what they really want and help them reach a buying decision. And I wouldn't be a salesman today if I had that attitude, because I thought when I first became one that it never rains on a salesman and that life is always good. They make a lot of money, they love their job, they get to interact with people. And I had a rude awakening. Actually, I've had many rude awakenings with that. So, but don't give up. Stay persistent. Don't follow your passion. Figure out your purpose. Write your goals. Be persistent. Even when it gets tough. I'm going to share a poem with you that the author is anonymous, but it's one of my favorite poems. I'm going to paraphrase it, so forgive me. When you want something bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give of your peace, sleep, and your time for it? If only the desire of it makes your aim strong enough never to tire of it? If gladly you'll sweat for it, plan for it, fret for it, pray with all your strength for it? If all that you dream and you scheme is about it, and life seems all empty and useless without it? If simply you go at it with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it, you'll get it. I want to conclude with the rest of the statement I shared. It's actually Mike Rowe who said this. Don't follow your passion, but always bring it with you. Mr. Toastmaster.
Let's take a quick minute and write some feedback to our speaker. Hey, Brant. If someone speaks less than 4 minutes but finished above 3 minutes and 30 seconds, do they still qualify for the speakers?
Yes.
Okay, so both speakers still do qualify.
No, I'm sorry, I need the votes, not the critique.
Yeah. Yes, but we are voting, I guess, voting for best speaker, and then if you have votes later, again, you pass it to Tom. That is our vote counter for this evening. All right. I will now like to move on to impromptu portion, which is our table topics portion of the meeting. Brant is our table topics master. He's going to come out here and explain to us what the table topics is about, and proceed from there. Thanks, Brant.
All right. Thank you, Derek. All right, so table topics is where you get a chance to speak for 1 or 2 minutes on a topic that you don't know ahead of time. Excellent chance to practice the type of skill that's going to come up when someone asks you a question in an elevator, or you go to a job interview and somebody asks you, what type of animal would you like to be if you could be any animal? Excellent practice for that type of thing. So I'm going to focus on our club members, but I notice we have a lot of guests. So if you guest and want to participate in this, we'll be happy to accommodate you as well. So,
Is there a word of the day?
word of the day, thank you, is effete.
Defeat.
And it's a word of the day that I must confess is lacking in wholesome vigor. It's a degenerate or decadent word, but you can still use that word. Also for exhaustive of vigor or energy worn out. So I'm hoping none of our table topics people today are effete, but guess we'll find out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have a list, a pile here, of different classes. And what I want you to do is come up, pick a class from this pile, and then you can explain to us why this is the most important class you could ever possibly take, or why this class has changed your life. Darren, don't you sneaking in here? Come on up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren!
There you go. Grab a sheet of paper. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I had to stick that one in. Come on. Well, computer programming. For those of you who don't know, I am a computer programmer. So of course I have strong feelings about this. It's how I make my bread and butter. Quite honestly, the most important thing is math. That's kind of a hard thing to swallow these days. I know nobody likes math. But everything that you do on a computer has a basis in math somewhere. And learning math will teach you good logical thinking. You want to talk about being able to find fault in people's arguments? Logical thinking. Learning how to computer program will help you find those things. It's a great skill for life in general. In fact, we're starting to see classes popping up all over the country teaching computer programming to people as young as 5 years old. This is a great skill. Teaches you how to work your way through problems step by step, and teaches you how to find the faults in your own thinking. And communication too. Communication skills are improved by thinking logically and learning how to program. It's true. I had a professor in college who told us that computers are actually really stupid. It is all about communicating to them. And as soon as you can tell the computer exactly what you want it to do, you win. That's true. And it helps in every area of life. One of my hobbies is writing, and I think my writing has improved dramatically because of the logical thinking skills that I learned as a computer programmer. It's not an effete skill at all. It's something that will help you in every part of your life. All right, so now you know how it's done. Mike, you want to do the next one?
Absolutely.
Since you're recording this, we'll give you a chance to do it.
All right, fantastic.
All right, pick a class, any class.
Okay. Well, I would have to say the most important class you could ever take would be art. Art is a fantastic class because, much like math, it makes you think. Whenever you go to a museum or you go to a gallery, you're forced to kind of step outside yourself and look at the artistry, look at the picture, and try to decide what was that artist thinking, what were they feeling when they painted that picture or when they sculpted that sculpture. Another fantastic thing about art is somewhat timeless. If you look at any of the works from Da Vinci or Michelangelo, or some of those things, like the Sistine Chapel spans forever. That'll always be a beautiful work of art, no matter what age you're living in, no matter what time you were born. Art is a fantastic class. Also, art is wonderful at teaching you hand-eye coordination. If you're not very good at drawing, like me, art is one of those wonderful things where you can learn to try to get your hands to do what your mind wants it to do. Thank you.
What about our guests want to give it a try? Come on, just raise your hand up high. It's hard to call you a guest, Bill. Anybody else? One of our new people hasn't had a chance to come up? No? All right, Bill. We'll let you
There you go.
It was unfair. I graduated from high school just a couple of years ago.
When I was at that age, there wasn't any high school, but now you're getting personal. Okay, I will pull this one out right here, and we will find out what it is. Hi, America. There it is. This is recording. Hi, Mom. Good, and we will pull this out now, and we'll see what I can make out of nothing with no preparation. Geography. I think geography is very important. Right here is geography. If we didn't have geography right now, we would be in midair. Hey, at least I don't go around programming computers. I am sitting on geography. What are you sitting on?
A chair.
Okay. This is going to be the most effete table topics you've ever heard. Let's face it. It's got off to a very effete start, and it's starting to taper off. That just goes to show that if you go up here and do table topics long enough, you too can come up with a really effete table topics. Isn't that right? Is your name Nikita?
Yes.
Nikita, I like that. What do you think so far of this dopey table topics?
It is as effete as you sound.
Absolutely. See? So practice, practice, practice. That's like what Danny's saying. Persist, persist, persist. And then you can come up here, hi Mom, and you can talk to everybody and waste their time. Where's the red light? The green light. Anything. Pay attention. Okay. Fine.
Kind of mesmerized.
So now we have a good idea just how low the hurdle can be for these types of things. I'm always impressed by Bill. He always brings people into his speeches. Now he's doing it with his table topics. All right. I assume we still have plenty of time. I got plenty more here. All right. Tom. Oh, did you want to give it a try?
Yeah, I'll do time.
Yeah, Sean's gonna do it.
Okay. Okay, Sean, go ahead and pick one. Hope it's not a defeat choice. Hint.
What is it? I don't even know. What is a feed before I start?
It's right there.
I know. What does that mean?
Yep.
So like disgusting would be the word for it?
Yep, something that you don't want to have in your backpack.
Okay. Okay, so I'm here today to talk about what subject in school I think is the most important. And today, I'm here to tell you it's biology. You know, biology, I know some of you might think it's not very interesting or you have to be really smart to get into biology, but biology is a fantastic way to learn about your body, you know, about how our bodies function, about how we... Actually, maybe I should have taken more biology, and then I would be able to do a better job of this. I was kind of hoping I'd do like PE or driver's ed as a class because those were a couple that I really excelled in. And, you know, biology to me seemed like a really effete topic to study, so I actually didn't take much biology. So I would be a fraud if I stood up here today and told you that I thought that was the best subject. So I think I'm going to go off topic a little bit here and not talk about biology. I'm going to talk about you know, when you're going to school, one of the biggest things I think you can learn is just to be dedicated. You know, it's an endurance test. You're there every day, sometimes studying topics you really like, sometimes studying topics that you can't care about, but it's a matter of going and showing up every day, doing the homework, passing the test, and moving on. You know, I've got some teenagers that can't seem to understand that concept right now, and I work really hard with them to, you know, this is a test. You know, you finish going to high school and you move on into college, nobody's going to care if you go and do the assignments or take the tests. So whichever subject you decide to take, based on our recommendations today, I think you should just make sure that you work hard, that you show up, and you follow through on it. Miss Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster.
I assumed you ever picked that. We're trying to tell us exactly the biology involved in those teenagers coming around in the first place. Okay. Anybody eager to participate in this? Anybody want to jump to the head of the queue? All right. We got a guest. Way to go. Okay, don't forget to use the word of the day. Make us proud.
What's it?
It's your feet.
Lack of energy? Is that more effete? Orchestra. Yes, out of all these subjects, I would pick orchestra. I'm not pretty good with music. I do like to listen to music, enjoy listening to music, but playing music or singing it is definitely not my forte. It will cause us a lot of effete in my day, so I will listen to it, but not, or causing other people to feel effete if I start singing. So orchestra, I find it's very fascinating that even though you may not be the one that's able to do something, but you can always enjoy other people doing something, and it feels as though you enjoy, like you are doing it. So I find that if you as a person can't do something, it doesn't hurt to enjoy someone else performing it. And I find that when people say going on American Idol, when they sing and be that brave and express their passion, that's what people, today we talk about passion. So when people express their passion, for some reason it becomes very attractive to other people. because when we can't do something, we actually enjoy seeing other people able to do their dream.
Can we still have more time?
Yeah, I run a pretty efficient meeting, so keep going.
Okay. Let's see, I got 5 more here. So I know that class that you really want you haven't heard yet. Maybe in this pile here. Raise your hand and get a chance to see people up. Win the lottery.
Who has minor roles? Sure enough, he has a minor role, so he'll go.
I like that. No.
Not yet.
Tom and MJ haven't done it.
Yeah, we'll call Tom and MJ next.
You don't have to worry about chemistry. That's not one.
If you're a member, you're gonna have to come up.
Wow. Okay, give us an effete one. Or not a effete one, sorry.
I got the subject calculus. It's definitely not a feat. It definitely requires lots of vigor if you need to do calculus. I did my first calculus, I read my first calculus when I was sometime in the 10th grade, I believe. And it was one of my most favorite subjects at that time. I was really good at math, but when I started doing calculus, I just couldn't stop myself. I almost completed the course halfway through the school year when my class was, I mean I completed the course halfway through the school year and I was far ahead of all my classmates. And this interest in calculus only grew over time, and that led me to take electrical engineering as my undergrad subject too. There is something fundamentally fascinating with calculus because you can do lots of amazing magic with numbers and all the formulas that people have created for us, and once you start getting used to how calculus works, you just cannot stop yourself from working with calculus. So I would recommend everybody to just get started with calculus and then see where it takes you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a confession. I understood calculus and I did stop. All right, should we keep going?
One more, yeah.
One more? All right. What?
MJ.
MJ, what do you think? Newest club member?
Pass.
You'll pass? How about your dad? Is he willing to come on?
I have to set these.
Show you how it's done?
Yeah.
What you're missing out on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got it. All right. Hope it's not a feat.
English. I'll tell you the class you really want to sign up for is English, especially if it's not your first language. Then you'll do much better in an English-speaking society if it is your first language. Although I understand there's parts of LA and some other cities where it's really the second language in that area. But here in Utah, it's still the primary spoken language in our community, our society. And the main reason somebody might want to take English is because you'll make more money. It's a fact. If you can string a sentence together that's grammatically correct and not a feat, then you're going to come across as somebody who knows what they're doing and can be trusted to do what they're asked to do. And those are the people that are going to make the money. Another thing about English is that it opens up the world of literature to you. And if you have, once you've developed the skills to read, then the whole world is available to you. Reading is a place you can go when you can do nothing else but stay where you are. So learning how to communicate with others verbally or in writing and do it effectively, and also learning how to seek out the knowledge and information you need in reading is going to make your whole life far more fulfilling and productive. Thank you.
Tom.
That seems like an easy one to give to a Toastmasters club. So, good job. So, that concludes our table topics section of the meeting. Can we get a report from our timer? Who qualified out of all these lovely contestants?
As far as the time, on the table topics, everybody qualified, and everybody but Mike used the word of the day.
All right, so vote for anybody but Mike.
For my benefit, can you list off the names in the order in which they spoke?
Yeah, so it's Darren, then Mike, then Bill, then Sean.
Wait a minute, slow down. I gotta write these down.
Yeah, Sean, and then our guest Newitt, is it? Mm-hmm. And then Serena, and then Tom.
All right. So there's your choices. And with that, I will turn the time back over. Oh, who's our vote counter?
Tom is our vote counter.
I'm the vote counter.
Okay.
What was his name?
Srinath.
How do you spell that?
Just put Shrinath.
S-R-I-N-A-T-H.
S-H-R-I, how about that?
Whatever, my name's spelled wrong on the program too. So. All right, well, I'll turn the time back over to our Toastmaster, Darren.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Toastmaster. All right, now I will move on to our next portion, which is our general evaluation portion of the meeting. I will now call on our general evaluator, General Mitch Moncour, to give our general evaluation.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. All right, for our valued guests here, if you're not familiar with what my role is to introduce the evaluators and then do a general evaluation of our meeting so far. Granted, today I'm a little effete, and I might have slipped up on who evaluated who. So if you could help me out with that, I sure would appreciate it, but I would like to invite up our first evaluator to evaluate Chance's icebreaker. Frank, Mr. Frank Lewis.
Thank you. Interesting opening for an icebreaker. I love evaluating icebreakers because they're pretty raw. In a way, it, as an evaluator, kind of puts you a little bit off guard because you can't be very critical. But Chance, you've done this before. This is not your first rodeo, as we say. And I love the way you open this up. And to me, the opening is the strongest part of a speech. The close is important as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But in the close, if you don't have that audience just leaning in and saying, tell me more, you've lost them. And it's going to be hard work all the way through that presentation. I have something I have to let go. I have to proclaim this. And please, don't hold this against my family. How many of you caught on to that? Were you ready to find out what this was? He won the lotto! Wow! I go, oh my gosh! And I'm wondering if you really did. I had to hear more of what Chance had to say. It's a perfect opening. I love the way you did that. Very, very good. And then your transition was, I won the lotto. I think I would have been a little more enthusiastic about that. I won the lotto! I won the lotto, yeah.
That's good.
That was a bit of fit.
That's good.
I think we could have done a lot more with that.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you a trick on this whole thing.
Okay.
You could have started your very first year when you were born. What year's the year? What was the number?
It was March 16th. That was 03, but
That's
72 is mine.
And as you told the story to the next lotto number, you moved to here.
That's good.
And then the marriage, you're over to here, and to here, and to here. So I see all 6 numbers in sequence right here. And you pause and you're enthusiastic about, I won the lotto! And you tell that part of the story with that number, very definite. Us as lotto lockers, we're seeing those balls drop down.
That's a good idea.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That's a great idea, yeah.
Oh, I love the way you did this whole thing. The baby, I won the lotto. And then, I love this part here because you were very gracious. You were giving us the fact that I can walk, I can talk, I can see, I have a job, I have a family, I won the lotto. These are the things that we take for granted. And I thought as you gave that presentation how true that was. Each and every one of us that are sitting in this room here right now have won the lotto with you, have we not? And the fact that we live in the United States of America is probably the biggest lotto we could possibly win, because without that we wouldn't have any of the others. You came up a bit short. The light had not changed. So I think you could add a little more detail, maybe some pauses. I would love to see you do that again. That's your icebreaker. You only get one chance at it. So I think that the fact that you say to have been blessed, I would say that if I have any recommendation, you've got already a good stage presence. You've got good voice. You've got good eye contact. You've got a good way of organizing your presentation. I would think if I made one recommendation to you is maybe practice this a little bit more. I know this is your very first speech, but you knocked it out of the ballpark, my friend. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
Great evaluation on a great speech.
Thank you.
Now I'd like to bring up our second evaluator, Leah, who will be evaluating Danny's speech.
Danny, you're new to the club, and I love listening to you and watching you. This was your second speech. Did it like a pro. Get to the point was your goal, and boy, did you. It was not a feat. It was full of energy. And reminding us that purpose is really better than passion. We don't sit on the fence and we don't wait. We get out there and we dive into life, we try it, and then we find out what our purpose is. And so through your speech, you had 8 things that you needed to do. Okay, this is 8. That's not really 8. Have a general purpose, which you did, and it was clear. Specific purposes were clear. Your organization and your speech was specific. Your main point and your supporting points were there. The beginning, the body, and was reinforced by your topic. You achieved your specific purpose, you appeared confident, and you did not rely on notes. And I have to go to this one point because I have a lot more to point out. Second speech, no notes. Now when I'm up here giving a speech, and I clued in on this just a little bit, if you're not sure what comes next, you just kind of went, and you were so confident, and you were just ready to proceed. That is a really good way to regroup. And again, back to your second speech, and you did no notes. So you did great on all the points. You really reached your goal. Some things I've noticed about you, incredible energy. I mean, I think I'm energetic. You get up here and you take command of the stage. You have great eye contact. You have great vocal clarity. You use your voice softer. And when you want to make a point, you get it out there. But it's not scary. It's not intimidating. I'm like this. Okay, okay, okay. Your hand gestures are great. I think it's hard when you're first speaking out. We don't always know what to do with our hands. You did things like this, and you kept your hands out like this. I really liked it. I think the one thing that I would suggest, and this happens to me, is a lot of little moving almost makes it a little bit hard to stay focused. So kind of what Frank said, when you move to a spot and maybe stay there. And then the only thing I wanted to point out is when you're closing, your poem was great, but it was a little fast. And because it was the lead up to your final sentence, I would slow down and let everybody absorb a little bit more of that poem. But great job. I'm so proud to have you as a member of Toastmasters of our club. So thank you very much.
Good job.
All right, those were 2 fantastic evaluations, were they not? They were not easy at all. All right, so now it's on to my second responsibility, which is just evaluating our general meeting so far. Darren, you're an awesome Toastmaster. You do a fantastic job of welcoming guests and greeting everybody that walks in the door. I love that. You did a good job of introducing the evaluators, even though I was sleeping and I missed it. And the speakers as well. There's tons of good energy. Danny, you helped out a lot with that. Running around, giving high fives to everybody. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And also something that we did really good this meeting was applauding people the whole way up to the stage instead of just for a few seconds, you know, okay, they're done, get up there. This time it was all the way up, and it gives people confidence when we do that. It makes them feel comfortable on the stage. So we need to continue to do that. Some things that I noticed, if you're a member and you brought your CC manual and your competent leadership manual, put your hands up in the air.
I did.
Okay. If we can all start bringing both of our manuals, that'll help us out a lot as a club and as a person. So that way I can enter in all the information to get you not only to your CC and also to your competent leadership manual, excuse me. And one other thing that I noticed, Sean, I don't know if Bill's rambling might have thrown you off a little bit with that timer or not. Just kidding, Bill. That was a great table topics. I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun.
It was good.
But besides those two things, it was a fantastic meeting, and I am excited for the rest of the meeting and for next week as well. And with that, I'd like to welcome Darren back up to the stage.
Awesome general evaluation. I would now like to call on, okay, we did the timers report. If you haven't voted yet, pass on your votes to Tom over here. So I'll just pause for like 30 seconds, so that way everyone can handle their votes.
For evaluators within time, we're all within
Yeah,
time,
and
right?
we're all evaluators. Yeah,
And the word of
evaluators,
the
we're
day.
all in time. They use the word of the day. We're good? Okay. Okay, and then I would like to call on Shrinoff to, how did we do on our grammar and using our ums, ahs, and filler words today?
Lots of people today, so I'm just going to go one by one. And
Sure.
So Dan, you just used one otherwise you were clean. Chance, you were clean. Danny had a few double places, but otherwise you were clean. Brand used a couple of so's. Darren used 3 ums and 2 ahs. Mike was clean. Bill was clean. Sean used 3 ums and a couple of you-knows. Newgate used few ums, ahs, couple of so's. Nobody did it for me, so I don't know what I did.
You're perfect.
You're perfect, Shreen.
Perfect. Tom was clean. Mitch used 1 Frank was clean. Leah used 1
Okay. Awesome, thank you. Thanks for it. Counting report.
Sorry, can I
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
All right. Well, I am now going to be calling for votes. So we'll just wait a few minutes.
I need just a moment.
Yeah, we just
There's a lot of ballots coming in.
Yeah. Great class participation. Normally, there should be a theme of the meeting today. Anyone, what subject do we have here? Maybe I should just give a table topics meeting or something.
Remind them again.
Oh, yeah. Just a reminder, while we're waiting for the votes to be counted up, who wants me to pass out, who was maybe thinking about maybe perhaps participating in the humor or speech or tall table contest?
Yeah.
I can pass this so that way you kind of know what the guidelines are.
Is the sign-up sheet coming?
Sign up sheet. Is there a certain amount of speeches a Toastmaster member have to give before they can participate in a
Nope.
tall tales or a humor speech?
No, the only one that has requirements is the international.
International speech.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're just a brand new member thinking about perhaps participating,
Any member of the club can
Yes.
participate.
Oh, thank you so much.
and I've participated in various speech contests with my previous club, and I can just say attending speech contests, not just participating but also attending them could help as well. There's obviously a lot of roles that we need to fill out to help participate and make an organized, well-run contest. Also, if you're trying to do your competent leadership, you want to chair the club contest or something, that is also a role for something for you to think about as well. And then just participating in club contests also helps you evaluate where you are as a speaker, your growth during your journey of being a Toastmaster. And we obviously give you great feedback on your speeches as well. So it's just another way for you to just progress your growth and then also to compete against other clubs and perhaps bring home an award to our membership here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should also point out that for people that don't want to actually be contestants, there will be several roles. There'll be the contest chair, chief judge, several other judges, timer, vote counter. So there'll be chances for everyone to participate, even if you don't want to prepare a speech. And it's 2 separate contests. You could judge one and participate in the other.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Are we ready to announce the? All right, Tom.
Yes.
Would you like to announce to us who our best speaker, best table topics, and best evaluator of today's meeting?
Yes, the best speaker, it was close. There was only 1 vote difference between Danny and Chance got the extra vote.
Oh.
And also with the evaluators, it was only 1 vote difference, and Frank got the extra vote. Very
Best evaluator, Frank.
And on Table Talk, Bill got the most by far.
Oh, Bill! Come on, we get your award. Does he like to be on camera and TV?
Yes.
Mr. TV personality.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. All right, with that being said, I will
Remember
now...
your feet. Thank you.
We had a great meeting tonight. I will now return control over to our presiding officer, Leah.
All right, Leah.
I took care of my business earlier, but Frank Lewis would like to take a moment and talk to you about a public service opportunity that is coming up in the near future.
Yep, just call the guests to see what they thought about this.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Quick reminder, we have a booth for our area at Draper Days. Everybody know where Draper Days is? It's down at Draper, of all places. I don't know exactly where the booth location is, but if you want to bring your kids, have a good time, it's a great place, especially on Saturday. We think we're looking for some people around 10 or 1 o'clock, but they've got dogs jumping into water pools. Anyway, it's a blast. And if we just had a couple of people come by, be at the booth for maybe an hour, even a half an hour, however long you can stay, bring your kids with you and enjoy. There's a hot rod show, there's everything for the family right there. So that's Draper Days. If you want, you can just walk around the booth, or the fairgrounds there, but it's basically at Pioneer and 13 East. That's where you can find it. Parking's pretty easy. We'd like to have you come. I just want to make an announcement, and especially our guests and our new members. Why are you here? What difference are you going to make with public speaking? Are you going to impact someone else's life in the future? We started actually 3 prison Toastmaster clubs. One is going on 2 years at the women's prison at Timpanogos. The second one is at the men's prison at Promontory. I was approached by the state of Utah last week to start another Toastmasters club at what they call the Wasatch facility. Wasatch are the bad boys. These are the ones who are the lifers, the ones that are probably not going to get out. They're in there for murder, they're in there for some pretty serious crimes. And they want to start a Toastmasters club. Of all things, and guess who's going to be in there with them? Me, I'm going to get me a tattoo. Not actually. This is where they're wanting to transition some of the hardened criminals that have shown the ability to change their lives. They work on vocational skills, educational skills, and communication skills. And they want to use the Toastmaster model to get these guys to, when they come out of prison, they've got a job, they can go back to their families, and they can start their lives over again. And how many of them are going to be able to communicate well once they get out? This is the job we have before us right here in Parkway Pontificators, is to get these skills of communications and not use them just to entertain ourselves with table topics and another pretty speech. It's when you meet somebody, whether it might even be something about your religion, it might be something about something you're passionate about, it might be something where you want to have a strong message and you want to communicate that message well. That's what we're doing here. And I'm going to encourage you that to take on some of the roles that we have here, the challenges that are, even if you don't feel good about it, do it. That's the only way you're going to get good at this. Prepare these speeches, put some time into them, put some passion into these speeches, and work your way through these manuals. Just like Mitch said, bring that leadership manual, bring that communications manual, because there's going to be a time coming up, and that's why you're here, to when somebody's going to say, I need you to do this. And you're going to step up leadership-wise, and you're going to be able to communicate that message well. That's my message, and that's where we're going with this stuff. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you.
As you can tell, Frank's very passionate about being a part of any Toastmasters, and I'm going to ask some of our new visitors what you thought. But Frank is our Vice President of Membership, so if you do have any other questions or you're looking to join, please talk to Frank after this meeting. I'm sorry, your first name again?
Alonso.
Alonso, what did you think?
I thought it was great. Everyone seemed pretty good. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's, you know, the first or second time speaking just by looking at him, but it seemed pretty good.
I understand. Thank you very much. And first, David, what did you think?
This is my second time being here, and after Danny told me about Toastmasters, I started to look it up online and just trying to learn more about what it was. And I think one thing that I like about this environment is it's a really free environment where it's non-judgmental.
Thank you. This is probably the safest place to start your speaking or your leadership career. It's like you said, there's no judgment here. We're all here to help each other. Nikita.
I'm delighted, and I share the same feeling when nobody's here to judge you, unlike at the workplace where your public speaking is actually taken seriously and it matters. Over here, it's okay if you make mistakes. I see that there's always opportunities to learn.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you were here. And I'm sorry, your first name was Luette? How do you?
But you can call it Nugget too.
Nugget.
I like it.
And thank you for being brave and coming up and doing a table topics. What did you think? How do you feel?
I think it's a great group, and I love what you share, Frank. Sometimes when you learn, like, it's only Toastmasters. Most people think it's only Toastmasters, just learning speaking, but you never know. Just something you do as a hobby, because this is not required for any job you do, but it should be, because speaking is a form of communication. And when you don't say something, most of the time when people dislike something and they don't communicate, and you hold that grudge against someone, and it's because it's just miscommunication, and you're not addressing it. And same thing with prison. Most people don't really know being in there is not because people act out something. It's it's an add up of anger, of miscommunication, leading to an action that doesn't have a desirable results they like. So.
Well, thank you all for your input. And we invite you guests to come on back. And again, if you have any questions about membership, Frank can help you. So I think, unless there's anything else anybody wanted to add, Mitch?
Yes, did everybody see the sign-up sheet for next week and the next, like 6 weeks after that? We have plenty of availability for next meeting, so please fill in the gaps. We can have a great meeting, see if we can top this one.
Okay, excellent. We have a big group. This has been a great meeting. So with that, I am going to go ahead and adjourn our meeting today. Woo! Thank you, everybody.